Hello, and welcome to this Grand Lodge Activities Committee presentation on the Antlers program. The Elks have always supported our nation's youth through a variety of recognition programs, short-term events, and other activities that support specific groups of young people. However, the Antlers program is different, as it allows Elk members to actively mentor young people, and to teach them how to run their own organization. The program is designed to promote good citizenship, respect for our country, respect for others, and to instill in them a sense of community, the same things that the Elks do every day. This presentation provides a brief overview of the program, so that Elk lodges and their members may have a better understanding who the Antlers are, and what they do. Let's get started. The Antler program originally started in the 1930s, to encourage young people to grow up to be upstanding members of society. When World War II broke out, the Antler program was unable to continue its active status, and by the early 1960s, the program was terminated by the Grand Lodge. In 2002, the program was reinstated, as there was renewed interest in working with the youth of our communities. Today, the Elks have over 150 Antler lodges in the United States, and more are being instituted each year. The Antler program is a chartered organization that is sponsored by an Elks lodge, with the purpose of quickening the spirit of American patriotism. It teaches young members the importance of respect for their parents, good citizenship, and imparting a love of home. The organization promotes the welfare and happiness of its members, and teaches respect for the conviction of others in matters of worship and religion. The organization also inspires its members to serve others, by aiding a worthy cause in their community. In essence, the organization shares many of the same goals as the benevolent and protective Order of Elks. The hope is that by teaching our young people these values, that they will want to continue the work when they become adults, and join the Elks when they turn 21. Membership in the Antlers is open to anyone who is between the ages of 12 and 21. They must reside in the jurisdiction of the sponsoring Elk Lodge, and be a citizen of the United States. They must also be of good character, and believe in God. They do not have to be a child or grandchild of an Elk member, though this is a great way to make Elkdom a family affair. To become a member, they must be proposed by another member of the Antlers, and fill out a proposal for membership. Once approved, and they have been initiated and paid their dues, they will be issued a membership card. The proposition for membership forms are available for download from the Activities Committee section of elks.org. The membership cards can be ordered by the Elks Lodge Secretary through the Grand Secretary's office. To start a new Antlers Lodge, it must be sponsored by an Elk Lodge, and have a minimum of 15 young people willing to join. The sponsoring Elk Lodge will need to appoint an advisory council consisting of a minimum of 5 members, who will oversee the program in the lodge. Rituals for the institution of an Antlers Lodge, initiation, installation of officers, and special ceremonies are to be prepared by the Advisory Council in the absence of any Grand Lodge-approved rituals. An Antler Lodge cannot become its own separate corporation, and must remain as an organization within the sponsoring Elk Lodge. The key to having a successful Antlers Lodge will be the involvement of dedicated Elk members who are appointed to an Advisory Council. This council must consist of a minimum of 5 people, and they must meet monthly at a minimum, and keep minutes of those meetings. Their purpose is to provide guidance and advice to the officers and members of the Antlers Lodge, to prepare and document rituals, and at least one member of the council must be assigned to each of the Antler committees. Should the need arise, the Advisory Council can also discipline the Antler members, for improper conduct and violations of the Antler laws. The Advisory Council is not intended to run the organization, but to provide guidance, encouragement, and some direction to the members to keep the organization on track, and meet the purposes of the Antler organization. Their active involvement as mentors will have a strong bearing on the success of an Antlers Lodge. As adults will be working with young people on a regular basis, it is important for every member of the Advisory Council to obtain, read, and understand the Elks Youth Supervision Guidelines. This booklet is available for download from the Activities Committee section of elks.org. Here are some basic rules for any Elk working with young people. For the protection of both youth and the adults, a minimum of 2 adults are required during any youth activity such as the Antlers. Adults should also be no less than 4 years older than the oldest youth present. Touching is prohibited between the youth and the advisors. A handshake would be the only exception to that rule. If the group travels or has a need to stay overnight, adults and youth shall not share the same room, unless the adult is the parent of a youth. Separate sleeping quarters will also be required when both male and females are participating. When needed, separate shower times for the youth and adults shall be arranged to avoid adults showering with youth, such as may be the case at a YMCA. There should be at least 1 adult for every 5 high school age youths, one adult for every 3 junior high school age youths or younger. All youth participating in the Antlers program must have completed a medical release form and parental authorization, which is part of the Youth Supervision Guide. It is important to understand that today, the protection of both the youth and adults by implementing these guidelines will help assure that the Antlers program is conducted safely. Every adult who works with the youth directly should sign the acknowledgement of the Youth Supervision Guide, to show that they have read and have a copy. As every organization needs leaders, so must an Antler Lodge. Officers are both elected and appointed. The elected officers are the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and a minimum of 3 trustees. The appointed officers are the sergeant-at-arms, guard, and chaplain who are appointed by the president. Other officers may be appointed with the approval of the advisory council, to include positions such as an organist or grade representative. All officers serve for a term of 1 year, except for the trustees, whose terms are staggered. The duties and responsibilities of the officers can be found in the Antlers Rules and Regulations, which are available for download from the Activities Committee section of elks.org. Each year, the President will appoint members to several standing committees. These committees include an Investigating Committee, Social Committee, Lapsation Committee, Americanism Committee, Drug and Alcohol Awareness Committee, Historian, and Membership Committee. In addition, the President may appoint special committees as needed during their term. Information on the responsibilities of these committees can also be found in the Antler Rules and Regulations. The supreme law of the Antlers is that of the Constitution and statutes of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks. If a situation arises that may not be covered in the Antlers Rules and Regulations, the Elks statutes and Constitution shall be the rule and guide for resolving the situation. In addition to the Antler Rules and Regulations mentioned earlier, each Antlers Lodge is required to have a set of bylaws. A template for those is also available for download from the Activities Committee section of elks.org. Antler Lodges can meet as often as weekly, or they can choose to meet twice a month. In the summer, during the months of July and August, they would meet once a month. Any Elk member in good standing can attend a meeting of an Antler Lodge. Members should be prepared to present their membership card should it be requested. All meetings of the Antler Lodge must take place at the sponsoring Elk Lodge. There are many activities in which Antler members are encouraged to participate, and a successful Antler Lodge is one in which its members are fully engaged, having fun, and learning about teamwork and service to others. The time they spend with the other Antlers can go far beyond their required meetings. Many Antler Lodges provide opportunities for social sessions, where the members have an opportunity to have fun. Group activities like these help build friendships that could last a lifetime. Antler Lodges are also financially self-sufficient, but Elk Lodges often assist them by donating money to their fundraising efforts or their charitable causes. Antler members learn about how to raise and manage money, which can be a valuable lesson in life. Fundraisers could involve providing services or events at the sponsoring Elk Lodge, such as putting on a dinner, car wash, or other event. In addition, the Antler members can assist as volunteers at Elk functions or events, and members often donate money for their assistance. The decision on what to do with the money is up to the Antler Lodge members, but it is up to the Advisory Council to guide them through this process and advise them of both the positive and negative aspects of their decisions. Antler members can also participate in some Elk events, such as Flag Day, which goes hand in hand with promoting Americanism. Learning to volunteer one's time is one of the lessons that the Antlers teach, and there are many opportunities to do so. Whether it is to help at an Elk function held at the sponsoring lodge, or volunteering as a group to provide service to their community, Antler Lodges can help teach their members about the value of charitable work and service to others. Remember, the future of our country is in the hands of our young people, and it is up to organizations like the Elks to provide them with knowledge and experience, so that they can lead our country to a bright future. The Antler program is just one way that the Elks can accomplish that goal. By starting an Antlers Lodge in your community, its members will gain an understanding of the importance of service to others, supporting the community, and our country. By teaching young people about these values, we can offer them the opportunity to continue this work when they turn 21, and are eligible to become members of our order. The Grand Lodge Activities Committee encourages every Elk Lodge to start an Antler Lodge in their community. Information on how to form an Antler Lodge is available on the Activities Committee page of elks.org. If you have further questions on getting started, contact the committee representative for your area. Their contact information is in the directory on elks.org. This concludes this presentation on the Antlers program. Thanks for watching.